Good morning. Um, so everybody knows I'm a sucker for some good sci-fi, retro, retro sci-fi. I want to talk about a show um, that came out, I think, in 17. I think it may be still in circulation. Um, show is called Handmaiden's Tale. It's based upon a novel that came out back in the 80s, and it was a movie I think that came out in 1990. Um, it's another one of those sci-fi movies that was way ahead of its time. I've done a lot of talks on sci-fi that kind of predicted the future in a spooky way. So, Handmaid's Tale. Haven't seen it yet, but I've put two and two together, read some stuff. What's about in the future? Spoilers. In the future, um, pollution gets really bad. Widespread sterilization takes place. 1% of the population of women is fertile. And there's some deeper political stuff too. But the point is that um, the government takes women and they rape them to try to have children. And they got to have the bonnets. And, it's an authoritarian story. And I remember, I think I saw some of um, some of it on Lifetime when I was a kid. My mom used to watch Lifetime a lot. And I didn't really get it. I didn't really understand it. And reading the previews, I can tell Roger Ebert didn't either. Um, I don't get into a lot of this feminist politics stuff, but that movie was hitting the nail on the head. We hear now all the time about plastics, microplastics being in everything. That they're finding microplastics in water. Babies have microplastics in them. I remember hearing years ago about Teflon being in people's piss, it being in food packaging, bisphenol A, and how it leads to breast cancer. It's a estrogen mimicker. Um, you know, I talk about that, but obviously the one of the key issues of our day is climate change. All these things play a part, and so Roger Ebert clearly didn't understand what the movie was talking about, but I give it props because it was warning of a time that, I mean, now it's too late. Now they're talking about finding plastics in the Mariana Trench. It's just too late. They can't do anything about this stuff now. But I find it intriguing that someone even back then kind of recognized that let's make a movie about the future where these things come to a head and nothing is done about it. And because nothing is done about it, you have to have authoritarian government to maintain control and to keep the population. Because I kind of realize for the right, they're not going to get it. And that there's only certain things that will make them get it. We have not seen sterilization of women, but one thing you hear often about is these transgender children. I've heard a lot about that, and you've heard conservatives get crazy about that. And it's interesting to me that you're okay with your kids dying from stuff. You're not okay with your kids possibly being gay. That's something that gets me. You anyway. I think it was an interesting movie. I think it put forward some important points, some important premises. Um, Sometimes I wonder if these movies are telling you what's going to come, or if it's just people that are kind of warning us. Like a warning from the past that, hey, we said this might happen. Now look at Trump. Look at all the stuff you saw going on when he was in office. Another movie called Gattaca came out in the 90s talking about being able to genetically enhance babies that you'd have to be genetically enhanced to be an astronaut. To be certain jobs, you have to be that. And now we talk about the CRISPR babies over there in China. They're already doing it. They're already genetically enhancing children. Now, I've heard that I think that the kids don't have as long of a life. So obviously there's some work needs to be done on that technology. But the technology exists. That's quite intriguing. You know, like I said, is it the New World Order? Or is it just people like me that just see that, hey, this is the next jump? This is the future. The people should know there should be discussion about these issues that will affect their futures. Anyway, thank you for listening.